In this video, I'm comparing two of the top neighborhoods in San Antonio that everybody's been moving to. I'm talking cost of living, schools, fun stuff to do, and I'm keeping it all the way real about how bad the traffic really is out here. It's Stone Oak versus Alamo Ranch, and we're getting into it right now. What's going on, family? This is Greg Foster with Market Boss at eXp Realty right here in San Antonio, Texas. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, eating, chilling, and playing in San Antonio, Texas, then click the subscribe button and tap that little bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. And our team out here, we're getting calls every day from folks just like you looking into the Alamo City. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the San Antonio area, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas. So for all the places that you could live in San Antonio, we've noticed that in the last year, most of the people reaching out to our team have been wanting information about two neighborhoods more than any other. Stone Oak and Alamo Ranch are two very different neighborhoods on two very different sides of town. So I'm giving you the top 4 things that you need to know about both communities before you really think about moving there. Number 1 is the cost of living. While both neighborhoods on both sides of town are amazing places to live, the biggest difference that you're going to notice is what it's going to cost you to live there. The Alamo Ranch area is known for its laid-back vibe, its newer neighborhoods with state-of-the-art amenities, and for its unmatched affordability when compared to other suburbs around the city. Whereas Stone Oak stands out for its exclusive gated communities, its beautiful outdoor scenery, and for its higher-end shopping and entertainment right there in the community. Long story short though, your money is going to go farther in Alamo Ranch by a lot. If a newer home is what you're into, then you're going to have all kinds of options to choose from in the Alamo Ranch area, with existing homes built in the last 8 to 10 years, along with several new developments currently under construction, some of which you can still find homes for the upper 200,000s. On top of that, Alamo Ranch sits just outside city limits, so you actually get the benefit of lower property taxes in the 2% range. If you're checking out the map, you'll see that all of Stone Oak falls within city limits of San Antonio, so you're looking at higher property taxes in the 2.7% range. Now, a difference of 0.7% might not seem like a whole lot, but when you really break it down, it could easily be a difference of $200 to $300 in your monthly payment for the exact same house. Well, not exactly the same house. You see, most homes in the Stone Oak area are at least 10 to 15 years older and about $60,000 more than the ones in Alamo Ranch. So you could be looking at some real differences when it comes to pricing and the level of updates. However, I will say that Stone Oak is a prettier place to live, and it's that scenery and the high-end vibe in the far north side of San Antonio that really draws a lot of people to the Stone Oak area. Now, for all my Alamo Ranch peeps out there, don't be getting all salty me, okay? Now, I live in the Alamo Ranch area, okay? And even though I really dig living here, driving through Stone Oak just hits a little different. I mean, you've got all these hills and views and all this mature landscaping and the privacy that comes from all the gated communities in Stone Oak. And then there's the club at Santerra and the golf course that runs right through the neighborhood. Our oldest daughter is learning to drive right now, and when she drove through Stone Oak for the first time to get her hours in, she was like, "How come we don't live here?" And I was like, "Because mama likes newer homes." That, and you just get more house for the money in Alamo Ranch. But for the people willing to pay a little more for an established area with homes full of character in a beautiful part of town, then Stone Oak is definitely where it's at. Number 2 is schools. Now, the great thing about both of these neighborhoods is that you really can't make a bad decision when it comes to the school systems here. The Alamo Ranch area falls within Northside Independent School District, and Stone Oak is served by the Northeast Independent School District, both of which are two of the largest and highest rated school districts in all of San Antonio. Every elementary school, every middle school, and high school in both of these neighborhoods hold exemplary ratings with some of the very best music, dance, art, and athletic programs that you'll find in the entire city. I can tell you from my own personal experience with our daughters attending the schools in the Alamo Ranch area that the parents, the faculty, and all the students are really actively involved here. Really, the only drawback is that almost every school out here is well over capacity because of all the growth that we have going on in the area. They've had to resort to bringing in portables to add temporary space for the growing student population. Fortunately though, the Alamo Ranch area is home to some of Northside's newest elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools nearing completion, which should be more than enough to fix the overcrowding issues that we have out here. Stone Oak, on the other hand, is pretty well established and completely built out, so you don't have to worry about any growing pains out there. And while both school districts outperform pretty much everywhere else in the city, Reagan High School in Stone Oak does hold the number 1 spots as far as high school rankings go over high schools in the Alamo Ranch area. Number 3 is traffic. If you ask most locals about the traffic in San Antonio, they'll probably tell you it's terrible. Now, as a city overall, I feel like the highway traffic really isn't that bad. I mean, you can still start out on one side of the metro area, drive like 20 miles clear to the other side of town, and get there in like 30 or 40 minutes. But if you want to know which neighborhood is worse, Alamo Ranch or Stone Oak, the answer is yes. One of the things that really took me some getting used to when we moved out here is just how massive and ginormous the subdivisions are in San Antonio. Now, the good news is that there's all kinds of restaurants and shops and grocery stores in both neighborhoods, so you really don't have to leave either for anything that you need. Bad news, though, is that if you try stepping out on Stone Oak Parkway or Culebra Road during morning rush hour, lunch rush hour, evening rush hour, or any time on Saturday, it's basically going to be stop and go traffic. It used to be that Stone Oak was a lot worse, but with all of the growth and the community still under construction in the Alamo Ranch area, both sides of town and both neighborhoods are pretty much the same now. Number 4 is the weather. So I know it seems kind of weird to be comparing the weather on two different neighborhoods in the same city, but you'd be surprised to see just how different it is on either side of town. Now, just so we're clear on what I'm about to say, it gets really hot in San Antonio, like really hot everywhere. But if you ask me, the temps get just a little bit cooler on the Stone Oak side. It's still hot though, but there is a pretty good sized difference in elevation between Stone Oak and Alamo Ranch. As far as Alamo Ranch goes, it's definitely on the flatter side of town out in the far west side of San Antonio. Now, it's not Kansas flat like where I grew up, but it's still pretty flat when you compare it to all of the hills with the sweeping views and the subdivisions perched on top of ridges that you see in Stone Oak. Really, the views that you get from being that high up in San Antonio are pretty awesome. Matter of fact, on sunny days when the sky is clear, if you look way off into the distance, you see the back of your head. And it's those views and that elevation that helps with the slightly cooler temperatures and the light breeze that tends to blow through the neighborhood to keep you a little bit cooler outside if you're living in the Stone Oak area. I will say though that when it comes to the weather in San Antonio, one of the best things about living in the Alamo Ranch area is that most of the severe thunderstorms and the hail usually miss the far west side. The crazier weather tends to dip into San Antonio through Helotes, move through the central part of the city, and then swing north through Stone Oak out along I-35 towards Austin. I can't tell you how many times I've been scrolling through Facebook watching everybody's videos with all this heavy rain falling out of the sky in different parts of the city while it was still bright and sunny out in Alamo Ranch. Now, if you're wanting more information about these two neighborhoods or what it's like to live in the San Antonio area, our team's getting calls every day from people just like you looking at moving into the Alamo City. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the San Antonio area, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas.